And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in This Week.
Welcome to This Week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Renowned for his medical expertise and astute observations on global affairs, Padma Shri recipient Dr. Parikh joins us to delve into recent developments shaping our world. Today we'll explore politics, conflicts and cultural milestones. Dr. Parikh, thank you for being with us.
Namaskar. Namaskar everyone.
Let's start with the questions. I have a lot today. With Ukraine's use of ATACMS missiles marking a significant shift in its military strategy, what are the risks of this escalating into a larger conflict, potentially leading to nuclear war or even World War III, especially with Russia's new nuclear doctrine? And how might this decision impact Donald Trump's foreign policy plans, particularly his aim to improve relations with Russia?
Well, this providing this new missile, new armaments or missiles which can go a little further into the Russian territory, that will escalate the whole situation between Ukraine and Russia.
It was fired today, in fact.
Right, and but it can work both ways. I mean, President Biden's main goal is to equip or give the enough thing, whatever he promised to the Ukraine before he leaves in January. And because he doesn't know what happens after that, because again, there will be new administration. And I think in a way, it can work two ways. It can escalate the whole thing, or it can force Russia to come on the table and take whatever territory they want, make it part of Russia, and the whole thing can be settled. And I think that was main goal of even President Trump, to get the diplomatic solution to the problem. I don't think there will be third world war or nuclear problem.
You really think so? No. But Putin has really pushed, and he
I know, but he won't. He knows that. I mean, by having nuclear war, it means destruction of the everybody. So
but why is Biden just spoiling it?
No, Biden is because he I think probably he believes that whatever he promised. In order to come to some kind of conclusion, somebody has to push a little bit more, so that way other party can come to the, because Russia is not naive that they will use nuclear weapons or anything like that.
But an order like this, does it just come to Biden making that order, executive order, or the House or the Senate also have to?
No, I think it's the Biden's right now it's Biden's call. Oh. And Biden makes, because House and Senate has already given him permission to do that, and this missile is all this thing is already there. Only thing they were saying that don't use it,
Okay. President-elect Donald Trump has proposed using military resources and declaring a national emergency to carry out mass deportations. What are your thoughts on the potential humanitarian and legal implications of such a policy, particularly in terms of its impact on immigrant communities and U.S. relations with other countries?
Well, I think what President is saying is saying everything too loud and too extreme, but the whole idea is that there are 1 million criminal unauthorized immigrants are here in this country. It was proven in the court of the law.
Between 11 to 13 million actually.
Right. So those 1 million first he will try to deport, because he has order from the court to deport them anyway.
And they're all criminals?
All criminals.
Wow.
And then slowly he will deport those who are, they must have criteria, but he's not going to deport all 10 million at a time.
1 million are definitely going.
1 million is going, and much more, and then he will change probably the immigration policy. that if somebody was on H1 visa, then right now their spouses can work in H4 visa, right? He may cancel that because it was not there before, and then I think Obama time or some other time they got introduced, right, to help the immigrants. So, and I think.
But Indians are not going to be happy about this, especially.
No, of course not. So, I mean, people are worried about it, and then, but that is again prerogative of the administration. But without immigrants, this country cannot survive. So they have to have immigrants, but immigrant has to be vetted and legally who came, and then that's what probably he will do up to that extent, not beyond that. I mean, he's not going to round up people, and I don't think that's possible.
With Senator Bernie Sanders pushing to block the $20 billion arms deal with Israel, what does this move signify about the shifting dynamics in US foreign policy, particularly regarding arms sale and relations with Israel?
Well, I think USA has committed 100% to the support of the Israel, because creation of the Israel also because of the USA and European country. So they have to support existence of the Israel. So the arms sale to Israel is very impossible to stop. And it doesn't matter because most of the senators and congressmen, they are pro-Israel. So there is no way Bernie Sanders can, I mean, his thinking and philosophy is correct, that's the only way to stop the unnecessary killing of the innocent people in Gaza or anywhere. But I don't think it is going to happen.
With the G20 summit in Rio focusing on inclusive economic growth, climate change and digital transformation, how do you evaluate India's continued emphasis on representing the Global South through initiatives like the Voice of the Global South Summit?
Well, I think it's always good to have different group of the people, whether it's a Global South or Global 20. Since Global 20 only started a few years ago. And this kind of a group is a very good platform to networking, very good platform to understand each other and to know each other. And its main goal is to economy of the countries, different countries. And that's why G20 is very now successful. So it's not political platform. It's mainly economical platform, and I mean environmental, climate change, that kind of platform. And of course, India's initiative is welcome, and let's see whether that other groups can be formed, because they already formed one group, SARC, called India and surrounding countries, but that did not go too far, and it fizzled out. So hopefully this new group will form, and we wish them success.
Absolutely. Dr. Parikh, with the world facing rising economic uncertainties and geopolitical tensions, how do you think nations, particularly in Asia, can balance economic growth with security concerns, especially as global supply chains continue to be impacted by these challenges?
Well, I mean, the economic growth, and they have to balance economic growth as well as security of the country, and they have to be, depending upon which country we are talking about, they have to have certain X number of percentage of their GDP should go to the security, and X percentage of the GDP should go to the developing or stimulating the economy, like manufacturing, service economy, and so forth. And I think in this case, India has a lot of advantage, because India's population, or almost 45% are young population, and they are very well educated, well savvy in the tech sector. So I think their demand all over the world is very high, and particularly in India too. And I think what India is missing right now is a manufacturing. So I think our government should push for manufacturing, because once you have manufacturing, then those who are not educated, those not in tech savvy, they can also get the job.
True. What are the potential global implications of the charges against former Bangladeshi officials and Sheikh Hasina, particularly regarding accountability for crimes against humanity?
Well, again, this is a kind of same story in every country when they change the government, or they throw away somebody from the country. So we don't know whether charges against her is how far it is true.
But 16 years, she was like, very infamous for causing all the humanitarian
Yes, I mean,
problems and abuses.
her certain policy were very bad, and particularly even very bad against the Indian diaspora too. There, So, but also in the same token, she also welcomed a lot of Indian businessmen to start some businesses in Bangladesh. But now I think Pakistan is getting involved in the Bangladesh, and then probably they will take over that part of the East Pakistan, original East Pakistan.
Wow. What steps should the Indian government and local authorities take to address the ethnic tensions in Manipur and prevent further violence? And how can community leaders and organizations contribute to restoring peace and stability in the region?
Well, I think this is the main, whatever is happening in Manipur is really very kind of disgrace, very bad.
Right.
And because the two communities fighting with each other. So, but it's a state government kind of failure there. And state government and central government should help the state government to make it work. And you cannot ignore this kind of fighting, because if you let it go, then it always is a snowball effect. So I think hopefully our federal government should take interest in it, and plus, as you heard probably, one of the party in the state government right now is the BJP government, and there's a party called NPP. They withdrew from the government, so that government can fall, because they don't have a majority. So, so all these things can happen. But I think the security and the harmony and peace in the state is the state government's priority. Responsibility. But when state government cannot do that, then federal government should get involved and make sure that it happens.
Wipro's Rishad Premji highlighted the role of reduced taxes and regulations under a potential Trump presidency in boosting enterprise spending globally. How do you see these changes influencing the broader economic landscape, particularly the Indian IT service sector?
Well, I think what the Wipro, the Premji is suggesting is that India has a lot of talent in IT, and they should let Indian IT companies come to the Western countries and give them equal platform without much restriction, and that may help Western countries as well as India and the Indian population.
With Delhi shutting schools and moving online due to worsening toxic smog, what role do you think international collaboration and policy intervention can play in addressing severe air pollution in cities like Delhi, and how can such crises be mitigated in rapidly developing countries?
Well, I think they have rules and regulations that not to burn certain, crops and everything, but nobody's following it, unfortunately.
Nobody does it over the years.
So I think federal government should get involved and make sure that everyone follows that. Unless they follows that, this pollution and bad quality of the air will not improve. And this is story going on. People are talking. I mean, they are making the rules and regulations, but nobody is implementing it. That's very unfortunate whole scenario. And federal government should get involved and make sure that all the surrounding state around Delhi should enforce that regulations.
Dr. Parikh, with Diwali sweets still lingering in our memories and Thanksgiving and Christmas just around the corner, what are some simple tips to curb festive food cravings and stay healthy and fit during the holiday season?
Well, I think holidays are here. Thanksgiving, Diwali just passed, and Christmas is coming. So obviously we all celebrate, and we always have fun and festive foods. But the only, I mean, as a medical doctor, I would say that be a little careful when you eat different foods. Make sure that you don't end up eating too much of carbohydrate and not too much of sweet. Obviously, a little bit here and there it's allowed, but that's only way. Or if you eat, then of course you have to burn those calories every day. And if you do that, then I think there's no harm in enjoying it.
What sweets did you enjoy on Diwali?
Well, I mean, in Diwali, my favorite sweet is what we call is gugra. It's like a samosa, and it's stuffed with the coconut filling or something, yeah. And also, we Gujarati people make a lot of like a puri, but it's a sweet puri. It's called sumari, and I think that's
you do have a sweet tooth, I must say.
Right.
Interesting. Thank you, Dr. Parikh, for sharing your invaluable insights into these pressing global issues. Before you give out this week's message, I want to remind our viewers that you can follow Dr. Sudhir Parikh on Facebook at Dr. Parikh and on X with his handle Sudh Parikh.
Hello friends. The Diwali is just passed. We had a lot of festivity. And still the Diwali celebration is going on in the community. That's a great thing to happen. Plus now Thanksgiving is coming. We must thank, and we all should celebrate the Thanksgiving, even though we are immigrants, because Thanksgiving is a real symbol of thanking the America and American society to giving us opportunity to come here, educate us, they educated us, as well as they given opportunity to excel in our field. So thank you, America. God bless America, God bless India, and God bless Indian diaspora. Thank you.